James Bissett Pratt, a British professor of philosophy, once observed that if Buddha was the vital linkage of the continuity from Rig Veda down to recent centuries of Indian culture, then Bodhidharma was the vital linkage of the continuity connecting India with China, Korea, and Japan. India, a land of fascinating history and rich traditions. Here one finds princes renouncing their royal robes and abandoning their palaces, away from mere pleasures of the flesh and worldly desires, and wandering in search of the truth, the eternal truth. India, where the cold calm of the mountain cave was often preferred to the plum comfort of the royal throne. Is this the secret of her soil? Legend has it that once Sakyamuni Buddha picked up a flower and held it aloft in his assembly of monks. What did the gesture mean? All the learned monks remained silent, except one. Mahakashyapa. Understanding the profound meaning of Buddha's gesture, smiled. It was no ordinary smile. Such was its radiance.
I hold the true Dharma, a wonderful way to lead to Nirvana. This reality, which only few can perceive, I now give to you for safekeeping. Guard it well.
This humble episode marked the birth of Dhyāna Buddhism in India. The most history-intensive biography of Bodhidharma is found in the book, The Record of the Transmission of the Lamp, by the Chinese Buddhist monk scholar Dao Yuan of the Song Dynasty, and compiled in 1004 AD. This work is considered as an important sacred text in the Chan sect of Buddhism in China, which regards Bodhidharma as the 28th patriarch, succeeding the founder of Buddhism, Gautam Buddha. It also treats Bodhidharma as the first patriarch of Chan Buddhism in China, which began to have future patriarchs from Bodhidharma onwards. There begins the story of Dhyāna from India, to Chan in China, and to Zen in Japan and beyond, as it expands in time and space.
It has been recorded that many of the 28 patriarchs were also worshipped by various Chinese Buddhist sects. Mahakashyapa, a favorite disciple of the Enlightened One, was an inspiration to all. Anand, the younger brother of Buddha, was well recognized. Ashwaghosh and Nagarjuna were well-renowned authorities of the Buddhist philosophy.
Young Bodhidharma, keeper of the flame, born as Bodhidhara, the third son of King Sugandha of Kanchipuram in South India, he was interested in studying the Buddhist scriptures and showed little interest in statecraft. Kanchipuram. has also been known as Kachipedu and Kachikanchi. Various dynasties have ruled Kanchipuram at various times, including the Cholas and the Pallavas. Culture remains intrinsic to the lives of its people, who, even though living simple lives, are deeply moved by the rich legacy of their city's history. The temples of Kanchipuram are legendary. This is the Kachapeshwara temple in Kanchipuram. Dedicated to Shiva. Look how the architecture and iconography of this temple unveils the grandeur and awe that pervades all of Kanchipuram's temples. The artistic motifs show an amazing holistic vision of man in the universe, part of the cosmos' eternal mysteries. Isn't that what Dhyāna tells us? That the deepest secrets of creation and existence lie within ourselves. Look how from a distance it almost seems as if the powerful Shiva himself is deep in meditation. The city's devotion to beauty is also visible in the legendary silk saris for which Kanchipuram is known. Woven in a wide array of colors, with intricate border patterns and designs. Elaborate pallas that drape over the shoulder. And enhanced by dazzling gold thread zari work. Each sari is a perfect handloom treasure. Even before Bodhidharma, Kanchipuram had a China connection. The silk woven at Kanchi was in early times brought by traders from China, and often imports of yarn from China have supplemented the local yarn, and Kanchina saris are woven in Kanchipuram.
There is yet another India, a modern India, throbbing with commerce and economic exuberance. The economic stability of the country offers an enhanced lifestyle for its citizens. And while the tourist is welcome for his interest in the country's past, the businessman is welcomed for his interest in the country's future. Burgeoning industries and joint ventures, along with a growing service sector and better infrastructural facilities, all enable India to reach out and compete in the modern world on an equal footing.
But achievements have always been reached through sacrifice. Even Shiva's son Kartikeya, known in South India as Murugan, renounced his father's lap for severe penance. It is through such deep meditation and concentration that Indian gods and saints have achieved their place in the history of this ancient land. This sacred land of India has always treasured its mystics, who have taken it upon themselves to reveal the truth and reach the ultimate cosmic reality. According to Chinese records, King Sugandh invited Pragnatara, the 27th Patriarch of the Dhyāna Sampradaya, to grace his court at Kanchipuram.
நமது ராஜ்யத்தை ஆசீர்வதிக்க வருகை தரும் பூஜ்ய ஸ்ரீ மகாகுரு பிரக்ஞதாரா அவர்களை வருக வருக என வரவேற்பதில் பெருமை அடைகிறோம். ஜாய் ஜாய் ஸ்ரீ மகாகுரு பிரக்ஞதாரா அவர்களே வருக வருக வருக.
Oh, Holy Master, I welcome you to my kingdom. Here is a small gift from me for you. Please accept and bless my kingdom.
It is well known that I shun all gifts, but just this to test the princes.
May your kingdom prosper, and in the years to come, your kingdom shall have a special place in the history of Buddhism.
Here are my 3 sons. I offer them for your teaching. My eldest son, Chandra Vimalatara. My second son, Punyatara.
I can perceive that you, the light, which I have been seeking far and wide.
My youngest son, Bodhidharma. All the 3 sons are virtuous.
What kind of pearls are these? What is their value? And what is their merit?
Such pearls could not be rivaled in brilliance. Only our family could obtain them.
You may go. Do these pearls give you any idea about enlightenment? Can you decipher their value in terms relevant to life?
These jewels belong to my father. I know that they are matchless. These jewels could be the best gift that my father could offer you.
You may go. Look at these pearls. Are these not some of the finest gems in the world? Do you not think that everybody would like to possess them?
Such pearls or jewels are nothing extraordinary. Among all the jewels in the world, Dharma Ratna, jewels of Dharma, are the most wonderful. Of all kinds of light, that of Prajna is the most brilliant. Such jewels would not shine unless the light of Prajna identifies their brilliance. Jewels cannot be treasured themselves forever, whereas Prajna can treasure Dharma Ratna. If the Guru has Dharma, jewels would appear. If the people have Dharma, again jewels would appear from their hearts.
I have found him, the light which I was seeking, the vessel of Dharma. He will inherit my mantle.
In the meantime, King Sugandh died. And even as his subjects mourned, Bodhidharma went into deep samadhi.
Holy Master, what has happened to Bodhidharma?
He's been sitting in that position for days by now.
Do not worry. Bodhidharma has gone into samadhi and shall come out of his samadhi on the 7th day.
Oh, he has come.
My honorable brothers, I have no interest in the throne. My life's ambition is to employ dharma, to serve the mankind. I had not renounced the world earlier because I had not found the real Guru. Now, since he has arrived, I would like to be ordained.
Bodhidharma, now that you have mastered all the branches of Dharma, henceforth you shall be called Bodhidharma.
Bodhidharma became renowned far and wide for his wisdom, perception, intellect, and knowledge. He was variously addressed as Bodhidharma, Prince Bodhidharma, and Bodhidharma. He held within him the sacred seed of Dhyāna, and the power of meditation shone luminously on his visage.
Master, since I have attained enlightenment, where shall I go to preach?
Years after I have attained nirvana, you shall go to another country and connect it with the root of Dharma. You will go to China.
The Great Wall of China, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, is an astonishing monument and is probably the largest construction undertaken ever in the history of mankind. Winding a distance of 6,700 kilometers from the Shanhaiguan Pass at the Bohai Sea, through mountainous terrain, through the Jiayuguan Pass, all the way to a point deep in Central Asia. The Great Wall of China is a symbol of continuity and antiquity of the Chinese culture. The wall has been built and rebuilt by many dynasties and through several centuries. Even though it was constructed originally to keep away invaders, the wall is now a symbol of welcome in China and hosts several tourists. In the heart of Beijing lies the Imperial Palace, also known as the Forbidden City. Built between 1406 and 1420 AD during the reign of Yongle, 3rd emperor of the Ming Dynasty, the palace has been home to 24 Chinese emperors. Covering an area of 720,000 square meters, its buildings are crafted from brick and wood. Its red walls, yellow glazed tiles, and surfaces decorated by wonderful paintings, the palace is a fine testament to Chinese design, form, and function. A celebration of vernacular architecture combined with the best of Chinese craftsmanship. Buddhism first came to China in the year 67 AD during the reign of Emperor Ming-Di of the Eastern Han Dynasty. The Longmen Caves near Luoyang mark the first tribute to the arrival of Buddhism in China. Constructed into a rock face, these caves, stretching over 1 kilometer, are built over a period of 150 years. There are over 2,000 caves and niches. 3,600 stone tablets and over 10,000 statues. This White Horse Temple was built in the 1st century AD under Emperor Ming-Di, the first Buddhist monastery to be constructed in China. It was built in honor of the 2 white horses upon which were carried the first Buddhist scriptures into China. One of the most spectacular archaeological finds of the 20th century is the discovery of the terracotta army in Xi'an, buried near the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Created over 2,000 years ago as an imperial guard to serve the emperor in his afterlife, these thousands of life-size warriors and horse figures in full military regalia and grandeur, equipped with chariots and bronze weapons, bear testimony to the military might of the first emperor of the Qin dynasty between 221 and 206 BC. This Big Goose Pagoda in Xi'an is one of the most prominent pagodas in all of China. Here, Xuanzang translated into Chinese the scriptures which he carried from India.
Also to be found in the Xi'an Museum are these ancient tablets, centuries old, depicting images of Bodhidharma. Master, the Buddhist followers who had inherited the teaching from a single guru and formed a large force which represented the strength of the Dharma are now divided. They have formed various sects having different rituals, beliefs, approaches, leaders. This attitude of the followers calls for concern because it has fragmented the divine force of the Dharma, thus weakening the very spirit which should lead humanity to salvation.
These sects and their differences surely represent the decline of Dharma and not its strength. I must show them the true light. I must take upon myself the task of correcting the heresy.
Bodhidharma first engages the leader of one sect in a debate. He convinces the opponent that if one understood what was reality, he would see also the unreality. It was through bhava that one grasped abhava. One sect propagated the theory of non-reality. The leader of the sect argued, even the Buddha had not attained samadhi, perfect enlightenment. Then how could one know what is reality? And how could it be proved? Bodhidharma counter-argues, since you can't prove, how can you say there is no proof? And hence, how do you know Samadhi is non-existent? Bodhidharma converted another sect by questioning them about their understanding of gains and exposed their confusion in propagating the voidness of gains while conceding the necessity of gains at the same time. The leader of this sect also surrenders to him. In time, Bodhidharma's nephew was crowned king, but he was arrogant and unkind to his subjects.
I have the deepest respect for you. But what sin had been committed by this kingdom that you are leaving us? What is an extraordinary fortune that China is blessed with your divine visit?
As per the prophecy of my Guru, I must go to China. The world knows you are my nephew. I expect you to be diligent in upholding the virtues of Dharma.
If it is Lord's wish that you should go to China, then it is not for me to stop you. But please do not forget us, the children of this country.
From the Indian sannyas tradition, it is well known that those who renounced their homes also left behind their attachment to their homeland. It was this sannyas tradition which created a touching phenomenon in China when almost none of the visiting Indian monks showed any homesickness, and all of them, with one or two exceptions, breathed their last in China. These were noble examples of human beings who regarded the people of other lands as their own kith and kin, and wherever they went, they adopted the land as their own. Buddhism is not only the first, but also the greatest missionary movement of the world, for it is recognized by all that the historical Buddhist evangelical movement was never accompanied by the religious preaching paving the way of conquest, and that no Buddhist monk in ancient times was ever known to be working for his own motherland. This was because of the total absence of the concept of motherland in his mind, and Bodhidharma exemplified the essence of these Indian traditions. Prajnatara had prophesied that Bodhidharma would journey across roads and waters both, then you'll meet the goats. That was the city of Guangzhou, renowned in all of China as the city of 5 goats. He washed his bowl at this ancient spring in Guangxiao Monastery. Chinese historians hold that Bodhidharma arrived in Guangxiao in South China on the 21st day of the 9th month of the year 520 AD. This street is named after Bodhidharma. The legend reads, "The one who came from the west." This Ficus religiosa tree in Guangzhou Monastery is believed to be the first tree planted by Indian monks in China. This monastery is believed to have been established by Bodhidharma when he arrived here. Of course, at that time, it could have been just a humble hut. This 6-banyan tree pagoda is over 1,000 years old and represents the history of contact between India and China. Here, visiting monks from India planted saplings at the monastery built in 537 AD. Statues, votive figures, porcelain made of China clay is another great invention of ancient China. Porcelain creates vessels which are non-porous and produce, like metal, a clear ringing sound. Celadon, white porcelain, blue and white porcelain, porcelain painted with polychrome, cloisonné enamel porcelain are all examples of the finest tradition of Chinese craftsmanship in clay. The highly evolved Chinese art of porcelain shows how, with knowledge and dedication, even clay can be made to yield objects of purest beauty. Local people believe that Bodhidharma drank from this ancient 5-mouthed water well. He was soon invited by Emperor Wu of the Liáng Dynasty of southern China.
Master, since my enthronement, I have built many temples and monasteries. I have had many scriptures translated. I have got many laymen converted to monkhood. What merit do I earn for this?
No merit at all.
Why?
These things are trifles between heaven and mankind. These are like shadows which follow the real.
What is real merit then?
Pure wisdom, wonderful enlightenment, and non-existent body.
What is the sacred truth?
Vast emptiness, and there is no sacredness anywhere.
Who am I talking to then?
The unknown. Only the mystic self reveals the truth in the being. This mystic self exists from eternity to eternity.
I suggest him preach his doctrine elsewhere.
Let him speak.
The whole world is a thought in the heart. A Buddha cannot err, therefore I have nothing to fear from sinning. There is nothing good or bad, but only acts of heart, which being Buddha is impeccable by nature. I emphasize again that the heart I speak of is not the heart of flesh. It is the mystic self in all of us. Of what good are worship, propagandism, zeal, observance, alms, prayers, readings, when these do not touch the heart?
Unfortunately, Bodhidharma and Emperor Wu did not think alike. Bodhidharma left the Liang court and reached the shores of the Yangtze-Jiang River. Emperor Wu tried to follow him on horseback and plead him to return to his court. Bodhidharma was able to stop the emperor by moving these two rocks together and blocking his path. He then crossed the mighty Yangtze River by walking on two leaves. This legend has inspired several artists to celebrate this event through various images.
The conflict between Bodhidharma and the emperor apart. The fact remains that the precepts and perceptions of Zen are widely applied in the life and living in Eastern cultures. Zen, the purest contemplation of the universe and its magnificent patterns. In a very real way, the Orient represents the deepest philosophies of Zen: harmony, peace, and tranquility. Zen, described as water in the juices, as the space between moments, as the silence in music, as that sea into which all rivers must merge. Zen, meditation among the holiest scriptures.
Dr. LOKESH Chandran, why is it that historical records of Bodhidharma are available only in China and not in India?
In India, the time was considered to be flowing. It was a flowing time and not a static time. So many of the important events were not recorded in books. And in the Chinese annals, it is clearly pointed out that Bodhidharma came from Kanchi. And if we go to Kanchi even today, there is circumstantial evidence of the presence of Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is the 28th patriarch in the Ch'an tradition.
Excuse me, Dr. LOKESH, but we would like to know what is the significance of Bodhidharma in this modern scientific age.
Man will have to look within. And in this looking within, Bodhidharma has a very crucial position. Bodhidharma is one of those great teachers of mankind who have given to man the feeling that internal human being is more important than the externalities of life. And in Bodhidharma, we will find the efflorescence of the mind of humanity, which does not believe in the external consumption of material objects, but at the same time which would like to enrich its inner being. And with the enrichment of the inner being, consumerism will find a more measured pace in human life.
Sir, after crossing the river Yangtze, did Bodhidharma just disappear, or tell us where did he actually go?
One of the versions says that he broke a reed, crossed the river and went to the Shaolin monastery. He stayed in the Shaolin monastery for 9 years, sat in meditation, and here he created practices and concepts of Chan Buddhism.
According to legend, he remained motionless in the cave, facing a rock for 9 years. While his relentless penance earned him the name Rock-Gazing Indian, a young Chinese monk, Shen Kuang, followed him persistently, even braving snow for 7 days and 7 nights.
Please accept me as your pupil. Please enlighten me in the truth of Dhyāna.
What do you want from me?
Open the gates of your mercy.
The incomparable doctrine of Buddhism can be comprehended only by long, hard discipline, by enduring what is most difficult to endure, by practicing what is most difficult to practice. Men of inferior virtue and wisdom are not allowed to understand anything of it. All the labor of such ones will come to naught.
Here is my arm, a token of devotion to you. My soul is in anguish.
Bring it to me. I will pacify it.
I am unable to hold it.
Then it is pacified once for all.
O Master, I am enlightened.
From now onwards, your name is Hoi He.
And thus the mantle of Bodhidharma passed on to the second Ch'an patriarch in China, Hoi He.
Let me know your understanding of the truth, Thou who?
According to my view, the truth is above affirmation and negation, for this is the way it moveth.
You have got my skin. Sun Che.
As I understand it, it is like Ananda's viewing the Buddha land of Akshobhya. It is seen once and never again.
You have got my flesh. Thou, you?
Empty are the four elements and non-existent the five skandhas. According to my view, there is nothing to be grasped as real.
You have got my bones. Hoi He.
Hoi He rose, moved forward to the master, bowed to him. And stepped back with his head bent low.
You have got my marrow.
Once, when Bodhidharma was meditating, sleep tried to overtake him. Angry at himself, he slashed his eyelids, which fell on the earth and sprouted into 2 tea bushes. The universal belief that tea is the best antidote to sleep is thus linked to the legends about Bodhidharma.
Next to Hoi He came Xingzang, the 3rd patriarch in China. He was followed by Dao Chen, who became the 4th patriarch. After Dao Chen, Ch'an was divided into 2 branches, but the one that survived was headed by Hun Zhen, who is believed to be the 5th patriarch in China.
Located in the Shaolin monastery, this is the cave where Bodhidharma sat and meditated. In the campus of Shaolin Monastery, this temple is dedicated to Bodhidharma. It is the earnest desire of all Zen philosophers and students to visit this sacred shrine at least once in their lifetime. This Shaolin monastery is seen as the cradle of Zen, visited by people from all over the world. It is the symbol of the history of present-day Zen thought and belief. The monastery houses the tombs of several monks who have contributed to the development of Zen philosophy and the Zen religion. Both Indian and Chinese mystical philosophies emphasize the journey that the spirit must undertake to reach the ultimate truth. A sacred voyage into one's self and into innermost truths, traversing slowly and meticulously through the principles of Dhyāna. Typical of the impact of Eastern mysticism is the life that these people lead. A life bathed in feng shui, the Chinese concept of balance and harmony. These people carry in their psyche the cumulative heritage of thousands of years of culture, philosophy, and tradition. And in this way, their special way of life is passed on from generation to generation and is preserved in this cyclical continuity. And this continuity is achieved through sharing, debating, meditating. What is life all about? What are we? Who am I? Even though life continues all around us, the Oriental temperament has always pursued the gifts of solitude, the pursuit of Dhyāna or Chan. This is Luoyang, the ancient capital of northern China, and the city represents the multi-character of the Eastern psyche. Even the tricolored pottery famous here symbolizes harmony. The horse and the camel are both celebrated. Huineng was the 6th patriarch of the Ch'an in China. This is the embalmed body of Huineng, preserved by his disciples for posterity. Through extensive research, it has been found that the 54th generation of successors to Bodhidharma is one Pujing Zhaoji, who may still be living in Taiwan. He belongs to the genealogical family of Donzhang Liangjia. Now, if we add the 28 generations of Indian patriarchs, it would mean a total of 82 generations from the Buddha down to the present day, covering the entire span of the development of Buddhism over 2,500 years.
But don't you think this could be defective?
Defects apart, this is the most marvelous example of horizontal development of culture through India, China, Korea, and Japan, and probably the only one of its kind in all of human history.
Fantastic!
An even more fantastic legend surrounds the death of Bodhidharma.
Once, monk Song Yen was returning home through Central Asia after a pilgrimage to India. On the way, he encountered Bodhidharma. He was perplexed to see Bodhidharma carrying one shoe on his shoulder.
Oh, great master, where are you going?
I am going back to the land of Buddha.
Master, carrying one shoe on his shoulder. Strange.
Why are you mourning today?
Don't you know Bodhidharma attained parinirvana on this day last year?
But I just met him yesterday.
How can it be? He is sleeping in the grave.
The debate provoked the curiosity of Emperor Xiaosong. And to learn the truth, the emperor ordered the grave to be dug open. But all that was found in the grave was a solitary shoe. The body of Bodhidharma and the other shoe missing. Located in Liú village in Shanxian County, this 7-story pagoda at the foot of the Xiang hill is the tomb of Bodhidharma.
The power of Dhyāna crossed from China to Japan to begin another story, where the flowers of Zen blossom in abundance, where Bodhidharma lives in their everyday activity, in Zen traditions, in Zen arts, and in the Zen spirit.
And even today, from countries across oceans, people come to this land to experience firsthand the place where Bodhidharma was born. The land of peace, spiritualism, and harmony.